So yeah, real quick, I just wanted to give everybody this message that might be going through a struggle in their life at the moment, or have went through a struggle, or is going to go through a struggle. You know, life isn't perfect. We all know that, but yet it's like we expect so much perfection from ourselves. Sometimes, like even myself, like are the hardest critics, and we beat ourselves up instead of patting ourselves on the back. And a lot of times we label a season as our life. We label a chapter as our life, our chapters that we're going through as our life. We allow the pain to become the identity. We allow the mistakes to become who we are. And I just want to tell you, like, you're not your mistakes. You're not your past. And I get it. Like a lot of people will try to put that label on you as you try to change your life. You know, people will keep you as who you were when you were beneficial to their life. So they don't want you to grow, because when you grow, that means that you change. And sometimes when you change, that means that you're no longer around those certain type of people. And so don't let people chain you to your past. Don't make you feel less because your life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. That's not an excuse to just live life whatever type of way. But I see so many people, you know, in their story because of chapters, and I don't want that to be you. You deserve so much more. There's more to your life. There's more to be written, and never forget that fact. You know, I read a quote today, and it said, "This is what I'm going through. It's not what I'm stuck in." You know, and that's so true, because sometimes we go through these moments and we feel like this is it. You know, we feel like, you know, this is the end. And I want to be clear with you. Some things have to end so better things can begin. Sometimes you have to, you know, end certain relationships, end certain friendships, end certain addictions in your life to grow into something better. And the more you hold on to what you shouldn't be holding on to, the less you'll grow into who you need to become. And so for everybody out there going through a struggle, I want to let you know that you're not alone. I know you look on social media, even at me probably, and be like, oh, Trent doesn't go through anything. I go through a lot. You know, I'm not a perfect human being. I have my struggles. The thing about me is that when I go through it, I don't stay there, right? It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. And there's days where I'm questioning my worth. There's days where I'm asking myself, am I enough? There's days where I feel like I'm less at times. You know, yes, just like you. But I quickly remind myself that I am enough. I quickly remind myself that I'm here for a greater purpose. I'm quick to remind myself that this is just something I'm going through. It's not who I am. It's not my identity. And so I want everybody watching this message to understand that, you know, ending your life is never worth it. Turning to things that tear your life apart is never worth it. And I know you might be thinking that's easier said than done, Trent. You don't know what I'm going through, and you're right. I don't know what you're going through, and you're right. It is easier said than done, but it can be done. But there is a better you. But there is a you greater than the pain that you're going through. Yes, there is a greater purpose in the pain you're currently experiencing with your life. And I want you to understand that. Okay, so don't let anybody in this world make you feel like you're less. Don't let anybody in this world make you magnify your own flaws, because that's what this world would do. They will sit there and point out everything like, oh, you're talking about this, but you're not practicing what you preach 100%. I want to tell you right now, there's nobody in the world that practices what they preach 100%. Even myself, right? We all fall short, you know, and that doesn't mean that you're some type of hypocrite on purpose. If I'm being honest, we're all hypocrites. Every single person watching this is a hypocrite. Everybody. Now you have hypocrites that do it on purpose, which aren't people that are doing good things in this world, but you have a regular human being that wants to do better, but sometimes, you know, you don't do the want, right? You don't become better. And it's a struggle, it's life. And I just want to let you know that it's okay. There's times when, you know, I want to be super committed. And I talk to you guys about being committed, and there's days where I'm not committed. There's days where I'll fall off. Does that mean that I'm a hypocrite? In a way, I guess it does. But I know that I'm trying my best. I know I mean everything that I say, just like you. So don't allow people to magnify your sins, right? And make you feel like you're not blessed. There's not a soul out there that isn't going through something. Some people just hide their struggle well. Some people just put a lot of filters on their life. Some people just, fake it till they make it. And I want you to understand that you don't have to be like that. And if people want to bring up your past, if people want to bring up your shortcomings, if people want to bring up your mistakes, if people want to point out your flaws, then let people do it. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you from progressing. Don't let that stop you from giving a voice to what you believe in. Don't let that stop you from confessing, where you want to grow your life. Don't let that stop you. And I see so many people's voices get silenced by opinions, get silenced by so much stuff, right? And I don't want that to be you, because there's no worse depression than wanting to become more, but not able to do it because you're afraid of what people are going to say and people are going to do. Everybody, you hear me? Everybody goes through their struggle. And so you're not alone. I want to let you know that. So you keep fighting, you keep growing, you keep progressing. Life is about progression, not perfection. Life is about becoming better. Life is about looking back and saying, you know what? I'm not who I used to be. You know what? I grew. You know what? I'm becoming better. You know what? I can look in the mirror and I can see a better man. I can see a better woman. I can see a better father. I can see a better mother. I can see a better wife, a better husband, a better friend, a better whatever. And that's what life is about. And I want to tell you that. Okay, so don't let the people that's in your comments, don't let the people that's in the stands of your life, right, not being there for your struggle, make you feel like you're not enough. Don't let those people do that, because those people are hurt people. Those people will try to project their pain on you so you don't recognize the pain that they're going through. They will try to pull out your struggle so the light doesn't shine on their struggle. And it's okay if we all struggle. It's life. We're human beings. We're going to go through those moments. But the thing is to turn those L's into lessons, right? To turn that stress into blessings. And to let those moments build the greatest you. Because there's a you inside you that's greater than everything you ever been through. There's a you inside you that can conquer any pain you ever been through. And God wants to use you. Yeah, you, that broken you, that full of mistake you, that you that's confused, that you that's depressed, that you that's going through anxiety, that you that lost everybody. God wants to use you, because guess what? When he uses that broken you, he gets the glory. And I realize that the people who have been through the most tend to help people the most. The people who actually hike the trail and actually experience struggle and pain and hurt and loss and all these things are the ones that really help other people get through it. Somebody needs your story. Somebody needs your story. And don't let anything in this world keep you from giving it. Don't let the perfection myth keep you in that prison of judging yourself, keep you in that prison of low self-esteem. Don't let that perfection myth do that, okay? Don't let people do that to you. I always say the foundation for strength is pain. It's about turning that pain around and using that pain and not allowing that pain to use you. But again, don't let what you're going through make you think that there's something wrong with you, okay? Because I go through my days, man. Every single week, I question myself. I have my struggles that I deal with. But like I said, I have processes in my life. I have these EEs, I like to call them emergency exits, that I don't stay there. I just want to come over here and talk to you about that, because I feel like so many people need it. In the social media world, we have so many influencers and so many gurus and so many, people, just people in general, that always puts out their best. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you have to have a sympathy show on your social media outlet, but there need to be more people that let you know, like, it's part of life. I reach millions of people because of you guys. But guess what? I still go through my stuff. It's part of life. It's part of life, and you're not alone. And I'm telling you, you can grow through it, and you can become better because of it. You can become better because of it, because you went through, you learned from it, you grew from it. Continue to make a year of progression, a year of letting go of the things that don't grow you. And I know I talk about letting go a lot, but the reason I talk about that is because you can't move forward holding on to the things that keep you in the same place. It's common sense. So I always try to push people to let go of the things in their life that keep them in the same place. Let go of the things in their life that's bringing stress, drama, pain, toxicness. I don't know if that's a word. Sounds good though. to your life. Let go of those things, right? That beautiful thing for your life that's waiting to be built will never be built because you're holding on to that broken thing that you're trying to fix that isn't meant to be fixed. I want you to think about that, what I just said. And that could be from all across the board. It doesn't have to be relationships. That could be, for me, it was a dream. You know, I was holding on to my dream so much, trying to fix my dream when my dream wasn't meant to be fixed. And I would have never walked into my purpose if I would have never let go of my dream. And a lot of people don't want to hear that because a lot of people want to always be right? You want to do what you want to do. And sometimes life isn't about doing what you want to do. It's about doing what you are called to do. And sometimes what you are called to do isn't what you wanted to do. I can speak for myself on that because that was my life. I never wanted to do this, but I realized that I was created for this. Okay, so what are you created for? Think about that. Why do you think you're on this earth? What's your purpose? And look, I don't want to say what's your purpose like that because I don't want you searching for it because you are purpose, right? What's the avenue for you to shine your light the most? And for people out there that's like, man, my light is dark. I'm looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to be real with you, man. Like sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel don't exist because you're looking for it. And you don't realize you so into looking for the light at the end of the tunnel that you don't realize that the light lives inside of you, that you're the light, that God's inside of you. And it's time for you to shine your light. And that's all you got to do is flip the switch. As soon as you flip the switch on your life, that light will illuminate that darkness that's all around you. You will shine bright. But a lot of us, we stay searching, right, for the light at the end of the tunnel. We stay searching for someone to save us. We stay searching for someone to change, someone to be better, someone to treat us better, someone to give us what we should be giving to ourselves, someone to love us better when we should be loving ourselves. Be the light that you're searching for, is my message to you. Don't give up on yourself no matter what. Suicide is never an option, ever an option. Don't ever let that be an option for your life because there's always more to your life. What you're going through is what you're going through. It's not where you were meant to stay. Something I've been dealing with throughout my whole entire life, and I want to talk about this, and I haven't really shared this much. I share it every now and then, but I want to share more personal things to let you know you're not alone, because I know some of you look at me as a influencer, I'm going to use that word, or someone you look up to, which I appreciate. But I think it's important that the ones that are in a position to be transparent need to be transparent. No matter how it makes them look. So many people are so wrapped up into protecting their brand, and it's like, oh, I'm the guru, so I can't talk about struggle. Like, you became the guru because of your struggle. And so many people talk about their past struggles, which are great, but not too many people open up with the things that they're going through now. And for myself, I've been dealing with something for a long period of my life, and that something is called imposter syndrome. I want you guys to look that up, because when I first heard it, I was like, I ain't no imposter. Like that word is like, what? And when I started to look up the definition of it, I don't know who comes up with these names, but it fit. I looked at the definition of it, and it's something that a lot of people go through. Probably 99% of people go through this. And for me, I mean, and this is, let me break it down what it is. So it's basically feeling like you don't deserve what you have. Like, that's what I take from it. So you might feel like you're a fraud. You might feel like you are, not enough. Feel like you deserve the moment that you have. So maybe, say for me, like me doing rehab time, there's times where I feel like I don't deserve to have this platform for whatever reason, right? There's times when I get in comparison with my life and I look out and I'm like, man, I'm not doing enough because I'm not perfect like that person. And I saw that my whole entire life with people in position. They always presented perfection, like with their life, whether it be a pastor, whether it be some leader. Like, there were very few leaders who actually let you know, like, hey, I struggle with this right now, because they were so afraid to be judged. They were so afraid for people to not see them as some, person on a pedestal. But I'm like, forget the pedestal. I don't want to ever be on a pedestal. I'm not here to be on a pedestal. I'm here to help lives, straight up, here to impact lives. I don't care about being perfect. You guys know that about me. And one of my missions this year is to bring light to these situations that people are dealing with, because there's so many people dying behind the scenes. There's so many people battling silent battles. What's a silent battle? A silent battle is something that you're going through that nobody else knows you're going through. You're crying out for help, but nobody else can hear your voice, right? It's like you're crying out for help without seeing a word. And so many people you look up to, celebrities and not celebrities, so many people battle this. And so what I started to think, I'm like, man, like, why do I feel like this at times, right? And I started to, another part of that syndrome that you have is it's not appreciating your accomplishments. That was big for me. Like, I never appreciated my accomplishments, not because I wasn't thankful. It's because, I always kept my voice silent because I didn't want to offend people. I didn't want to make my friends jealous. I wanted to be overly humble. And that's another sign of it, when you're just overly humble. And you teach yourself not to appreciate your blessings. You teach yourself not to appreciate your progressions. You teach yourself not to appreciate your accomplishments. And I feel like that's one of the worst prisons that you can live in. Because just imagine, being blessed, but still feeling cursed for it. If that makes any sense. I don't know if anybody can feel me. Maybe I'm talking to myself because I can't see any comments anyway. But it's things that people go through. And with this syndrome, what happens a lot is that, like I said, you're always looking out. And so you feel like, if I'm not perfect, then I don't deserve it. If that makes any sense to you guys. If I'm not perfect, then I don't deserve it. And so what you start to do, you start finding your little flaws about you that everybody has. Everybody has a flaw. I don't care who you are. Call out one person, they have a flaw, whether they're short or not. And you find out these little flaws and you start to magnify these flaws. And these flaws make you feel more and more and more imperfect. And you start to feel more and more and more like you don't deserve your platform, like you don't deserve your family, like you don't deserve whatever it is in your life, that you don't deserve it. And I want to tell you something. You do deserve it. Just because you have flaws, like I said earlier, doesn't mean you don't deserve your blessings. Just because you have struggles don't mean you deserve your blessings. And like I said, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but a lot of people are hypocrites. Like I said, you have people who are purposely hypocrites, which aren't good people at all because they're there to manipulate and use. But you have people who mean well, who want to do well, but they struggle, they stumble, they fall. There's times when, I've told people and you guys, like, it's time to be more disciplined. Right. And I've talked about this because you guys knew I was 40 pounds heavier, and I'm telling people to be more disciplined, but I'm struggling with being disciplined. Does that mean that I don't believe what I say? No, I believe what I say, but I'm trying my best to figure that out. I'm trying my best to progress towards that. And so nobody in this world, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody that has mistakes, right? I'm not trying to make excuses for anything, but nobody in this world 100% practices what they preach 100% of the time. And that doesn't mean that you don't believe in it. That doesn't mean that you don't wholeheartedly want to make a change and want to be better. And so I want to let you know this, that there's nobody out there that's perfect. And so when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you judging yourself and you comparing yourself to whoever it may be, it might be myself, it might be whatever. I could never be like Trent. I could never be like so-and-so. I can never be like this person. First of all, you're not called to be like that person. Understand, you're called to be you. Second of all, realize that that person that you're looking up to, they got their stuff too behind the scenes. They got their stuff too that they're struggling with. And the more I embraced that, the more I was like, I'm not gonna try to be this figure for people to put me in a box, and I gotta operate my life off of being afraid of their judgment or trying to be this perfect person. Yes, I strive to be the best person I can be, because I want to progress. Like I said, I want to look back and say, I'm a better man. I'm a better father. I'm a better coach. I'm a better mentor. I'm a better leader. I want to say that. And that's very important for me to say every single year. But I also know part of that journey, right, involves failing. Part of that journey involves stumbling. Part of that journey involves stress. Part of that journey involves me doubting myself. But that's why it's important to know these things. And so when you're going through these things, you don't like just count yourself all the way out. That's just something personal, man, that I've dealt with, and I continue to deal with at times. It's not as strong as it used to be, but there's times where I feel like I don't deserve what I have, you know, and for whatever reason, there's times where I feel like that. But when I start to feel like that, I remind myself of why I deserve it. I remind myself that God called me to do this. I remind myself that I have grew. I remind myself that I'm not the same Trent that was at 25 years old, you know? And so don't let people also make you feel like you're not real, you know, that you're not who you say you are because you have imperfections. If you guys hung around me, I'm sure you would find imperfections. You will. You would find some imperfections about me. You will. But what you will find also is a lot of progression about me. You will find a man that cares, a man that has believed that's making to the 100 times 100th power. But you will find imperfections. And you guys heard my spoken word, pick me apart. That's what, you know, I say it in there. I said it 4 years ago, and pick me apart. Like, if you want to crucify me, pick me apart. You know, because God knows my heart at the end of the day. And so for the people that struggle with that, for the people that struggle with downing themselves, for the people that struggle with doubting themselves, I hope this message helped you, right? Those mistakes don't make you. Those sins that you might be, you know, addicted to don't make you. You can be free from that. And when you're free from that, it's beautiful. When you grow from that, it's beautiful. That's called life. That's called a journey. And nobody's journey is perfect. But when you look through the social media filter lens, you start to see perfect journeys. And it starts to make you feel less about your journey. And you start to I think the word sabotage. Maybe that's not the correct word in this. I don't know. Maybe it is. But you start to self-inflict pain on yourself. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do it, okay? Like I say at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. Let's get it.